Welcome to our last lecture together. The first thing I want to say is congratulations. We've made it. We accomplished a lot together in this online course this semester, and you should be proud of all of the things that you've accomplished. So let's review a little bit about some of the things that we've done together so far this semester. So you have completed a comprehensive overview of communication for professionals. That's included a lot of things. That's included a business or professional interpersonal communication, how to interact with people around us in a professional setting. It's also included business writing and professional writing. And we've looked at different kinds of business writing and professional writing format, and you've gotten to learn about how to do that and actually get a chance to do it yourself. And we also have been talking about business and professional presentational speaking. And you've got a chance to upload some videos of you doing different kinds of professional presentational speaking. And you also have a professional presentational speaking assignment coming up soon. So let's, again, do a little review of all the things that we've talked about. We've covered a lot of material. We talked about communication. We talked about what is professional communication and why does it matter. We talked about branding, and you thought about what do you want your brand to be, and then how do I research and find other companies that align with my brand so that I can match my brand to the company or organization that I want to work for. Then we looked a little bit about networking. How do I establish relationships with people in my field so that I have those relationships in place so that I can be successful. We learned elevator pitches so that you knew what to say if you run into somebody who might have the power to offer you professional opportunities, and you got a chance to write a resume so that you know what kind of document to send if they want to hear more from you. You created a LinkedIn, so if they go and look at you online or find you online, they can see your professional presence there as well. We talked about emails, and particularly how do you reach out to individuals that are already in your network to request recommendations so that they can refer you to other people in their network so that you can expand your network. We looked at business professional letter writing, and we applied that specifically to cover letters so that you understood how to write a cover letter to get into your field. And then we looked at interviewing. So when you go in to meet with people, what do you say in interviews? How do you answer interview questions so that you can be successful? Then we talked at about the midpoint in the semester about how do you leave a current position or how do you accept a new one, and what's the process or path with that. And hopefully at this point, you knew everything that you needed to actually get hired in the professional field that you wanted to be in. So after the midpoint of the semester, we talked about, well, how do you establish yourself in your new job? How do you develop relationships with your colleagues and people around you so that you can be successful? We looked at listening and how to listen effectively, how to deal with bosses, how to look at diversity or cultural differences within professional environments. We looked at team communication so that you could understand how to work in small groups, which is a very important part of a lot of professional environments. We looked at leadership because hopefully if you're not in leadership in your first position, you're going to end up in leadership later on. And you also want to pick leadership that's going to align with your goal for how you think business or professional environment should run. Then we looked at a lot of business writing. We looked at business memo writing. We looked at business report writing. We looked at how to host meetings, which includes agenda writing and also minutes writing. We looked at pitching ideas. So how do you pitch ideas so that your ideas can be heard in a professional environment and people will accept your ideas for how to change. We also looked at persuasion, how persuasion is very rampant and how do you actually persuade. And we looked particularly at how do you persuade so that you can even get promoted. And we looked at presentational speaking. How do you present in an effective way in a professional environment. And then we looked a little bit at performance reviews and moving up. And at that point in the semester, you understand how to get promoted in your current position. And then if you didn't get promoted in that current position, you kind of start back over at what would be the beginning of the semester in the job hunt again, which is going to include branding, researching companies for where you should move next, networking, etc. So if you've gotten through all of this, you understand the full cycle of professional communication functionally to help you be successful to get into the career field that you're interested in, and then how to get promoted or move up in that career field, and then how to reestablish yourself in a new industry or career field or company or organization if you couldn't get promoted to that current one, so you can just continue the process. And this is what you're doing throughout your professional lifespan. So you know now what you need to find a position of interest and to get hired into the position that you're interested in. You also know what is expected of you in a professional setting so that you can behave professionally so that you get recognized. And you also know how to get promoted and rise up in your industry of interest. You have also created a lot of things this semester that you should feel very proud of. You created professional goals and you turned into me short-term interest and long-term interest for what you want to get into. And that's part of your brand and who you are. You also have created an elevator pitch so you know what to say if you find that you can reach out to that person to be successful in your industry. What do you say when you meet that potential hiring manager? Right, that's your elevator pitch. You created a resume and turned that into a professional resume that can help you get a professional job. You have a professional LinkedIn account now. You turned in an email for a networking request so you understand how to reach out to people to email. You've turned in a cover letter to me. You've created and videotaped yourself with a story interview answer. You completed a mock interview, so you've actually practiced run going through an interview for a job that you're interested in. You learned how to write a thank you note that you could turn in after that interview, and also a thank you email to follow up with anyone that might have helped you get that interview beyond just the person interviewing you. You made contact with someone in your field of interest, and that's what your informational interview was. So you actually expanded your network by reaching out to someone in your field of interest and getting to know them more. You created a business memo, you've created a business professional agenda, and you've also created a business professional report, which is talking about what you've accomplished this semester so that you can understand how to look at professionally your experience as a student or your experience in your current job or employment to help launch you into where you want to go next, or to get promoted if where you want to go next is where you are right now. And lastly, you're going to be doing an extended business professional presentation as well, so that you're ready for that as well. So congratulations, you have produced professional communication in a variety of settings, in a variety of formats, and you have the skills, written and oral communication skills that you need to get hired or get promoted. So I want to talk a little bit now about some takeaway lessons. What are some things that are kind of overarching themes in this class that I hope you remember and carry with you as you move into your professional environment, right? The first one is professional communication, business communication is all relationships. It's all about establishing relationships with the people around you. You constantly have to be thinking about intentionally putting people in your network and building your network, because in the end, it's relationships that are going to get you ahead. If you achieve all of these technical goals on paper, if you get all these awards and accolades, but you don't have relationships, you're not going to be successful in professional environments. You need to learn how to establish those relationships, and you've developed those skills to be successful and to think intentionally about your professional relationships. Second, details matter. People are always evaluating you, even based on the tiniest detail, right? What kind of shoes did you wear to the interview? Or if you have a single error on your resume, those kinds of things can get you knocked out of consideration because those small details made you seem less professionally adept than other people that you're competing against, right? And in a professional environment, there's often some kind of competition involved. So it's really important that you're paying attention to all of the details, that you're professional in all of the details, and that you're not leaving things out. Third, your professionalism is always being evaluated, right? No matter what you're doing, it's not just in an interview that they're evaluating your professionalism, right? Every day when you come to the office or you come to your environment where you're working and you go to your desk, the way you walk to your desk is being evaluated as professional or not, subconsciously and consciously by the people around you, right? Every email, every conversation you have, not only at your workplace, but if you run into your boss at the grocery store, you are still having your professionalism evaluated at the grocery store when you're there just buying your groceries for the week. So you have to think about your professionalism in every environment all of the time. Fourth, you need to have professional goals and you need to let other people know what they are, right? Now, that doesn't mean you have to be committed to them for your whole life, right? You can change your professional goals, but you need to have professional goals and others need to know what your professional goals are, because that is your most important brand, especially at this early part of your job seeking and establishing yourself process. So that's your brand, that's who you are, that's what you want people to know, because that's going to help you build your network in ways that are going to help you be professionally acceptable. If you don't know where you want to go professionally, you can't go there, right? So you need to have professional goals and you need to let others know what they are. Fifth, communication is the largest determining factor in whether or not you get hired, and if you're successful, and if you get promoted. It's not usually about what you've accomplished on paper. It's about your communication. It's about your ability to articulate and talk to others about what you've done, your ability to establish relationships, your ability to write about it, your ability to present about it. Communication is essential to your success. It is the most important tool you have to get hired, to get promoted, to get recognized within your field. Next, you have to be intentional, and professionalism takes time. Before you go into an interview, you have to spend a lot of time researching fields or individuals of interest, maybe even before you're establishing your network. You need to tailor your cover letters to those individual people that you're sending it to. You have to figure out how to find the hiring manager, which we've talked about a lot. The resumes that you turn into me in this class, the cover letters that you turn into me in this class, they might have taken you a lot of time. And that is professional communication. Being intentional and professional takes time, and you need to make sure that once you get into your professional environment, you give yourself the time and the space that you need to be intentional so that those details are significant and matter and speak highly of you. Then you need to remember, you are always selling yourself. You are always selling yourself. Persuasion is in all professional environments because someone is paying you to come here and do this job. Now, whether or not that's business or whether or not you're getting paid for some kind of creative output or whether or not you're getting paid for some kind of technical skill that you have, you are getting paid to accomplish some task. And so that probably means that whatever task you're accomplishing also is able to secure donors or secure funding or secure sales in some way so that you can continue to get paid. And that means people are always evaluating, in a sense, whether or not you are valuable, right? Whether or not you are valuable in helping them reach their goals as an organization, whether or not that's a nonprofit, whether or not that's a professional business environment, whether or not that's some kind of creative field. In all of them, it's the same. They're always evaluating, why does this company or why does this thing exist and how are you contributing to it? So it's really important that you never think about yourself as something secure. You're always selling yourself in your professional environments, no matter where you are. So it's important that you're always paying attention to your professionalism so that you're selling yourself in a positive way. All right. Then you need to find out what really matters to those in power. You need to find out what really matters to those in power. The people over you, the people who are funding you, the people who are paying your check, they care about specific things. And if you're doing things, but they're not the things that matter most to them, you're not going to get recognized. And so it's really important that you research for your clients, for your boss, for your donors, what really matters to them and how can you show that you're meeting those goals. And lastly, you have the keys to be successful. You've learned in this course the things that you need to be successful. If you can apply these things and keep applying these things in your professional environment, you're going to be successful. You're going to get promoted. You're going to get hired. You're going to be able to be successful in meeting your professional goals. Now, of course, I hope that you keep learning more about this. Right? There's only so much I can cover about professional communication in just this one course, and there's so many more things that you can do. Right? You want to keep learning professionally and developing. So that's going to be specific to your professional goals, to your career goals. But some things that can help you on that process is, while you're still here, the Career Center exists to help you. The Career Center can help you in a lot of these different fields that we've worked in. So if you need more help with future cover letters, future resumes, future mock interviews, the Career Center is there for you. And you can even utilize the Career Center for up to 1 year after graduation for free, right? So make usage of the Career Center. That's a huge benefit that you have in your favor right now. Another benefit that you have is professors in your field, right? Whatever your major is, who are those professors, and learn from them about what kind of professional communication is important and what people are specifically looking for, because there are some things that will look a little bit different depending on the exact field that you want to go into. Then join professional organizations. No matter what field you're in, they have professional organizations. And if you join them, especially as a student, you're going to expand your network, you're going to get to know people, and you're going to be able to figure out what it is that matters to them and the things that they're focusing on so that you can communicate more professionally about yourself. You might want to take some additional classes, and there's definitely additional classes that you might want to consider. Some that spring to mind are persuasion can help you to be more persuasive in all environments, because again, communication is always about persuasion in a professional setting. Leadership classes could be helpful for some of you as well, or advanced presentational or public speaking. I've put an attachment in D2L in this lesson where you can look at some recommended books or resources that you could consider as well if you're going to continue growing or learning in a professional environment. And then the last thing I want to say here is, I hope you'll keep in touch. This has been a journey for both of us. I know it is a tough class. And congratulations on making it this far. You've put in a lot of time and effort to make it here to this point in the semester. And I really care about your professional success. This is why I've been so strict in grading some of your content. If I don't grade your resumes, cover letters, professional communication strictly, then you're not going to be successful in your professional goals, and I want you to be successful in your professional goals. In the past, the majority of my students have found jobs or internships in the semester that they were taking this course or they've utilized the content to find jobs or internships in the semester following to help them be on their professional track. And that's so exciting to me. That's why I care about this course. That's why I teach this course, because I want you to be successful professionally. And I can see when I follow up with my students that they are successful professionally because they're able to utilize what they're learning in this course. That's so exciting. So please let me know about your professional successes. If you got a job or internship this semester and you haven't told me about it yet, please tell me about it. Right? And if next semester when you're not in my class anymore, you utilize what you've learned in this class to get a job or internship, please let me know about it. That's the most exciting thing for me. I wish you the best professionally. I look forward to where you will go. I know that you're going to be successful, and I can't wait to hear about all the successes that you're going to have on your professional journey. Thank you for being with me throughout the semester, and I look forward to hearing about where you're going to go from here.